Welcome to Daily News Brief, your clear, concise look at today's top headlines. If you find this update helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a story that matters.
In eastern Ukraine, frontline medical posts face constant danger from the Donetsk front.
Medics work tirelessly, but sometimes soldiers arrive too late to be saved.
One anesthesiologist explained that a soldier died because the evacuation took too long.
This is not an isolated incident, but a growing trend in the war.
Medical evacuations have become increasingly difficult due to the widespread use of drones.
Darina Boyko, an anesthesiologist, stated that drones pose a threat to both the wounded and the evacuation crews.
This makes transport the primary challenge.
In the early stages of the war, evacuation vehicles could get much closer to the front lines.
Now, first-person view drones, known as FPVs, create kill zones up to 12 miles from the front.
Medics report that most injuries are now from FPVs, not gunshots.
These drones are feared for their precision and their impact on evacuation efforts.
This makes it even harder for Ukraine to protect its troops.
The commander of the 59th Brigade Medical Unit, known as Buhor, confirmed the increasing difficulty of moving the wounded.
He stressed that everything has become more challenging, from mobility to safety.
Buhor acknowledged that these conditions have significantly increased mortality rates.
He explained that the FPV's munitions carry a powerful charge that can destroy even tanks.
Eric Vaughn, chief executive officer of Ignite, replaced nearly 80% of his staff due to their resistance to artificial intelligence adoption.
Vaughn believed that artificial intelligence was an existential transformation and saw his workforce as not fully embracing it.
He invested 20% of payroll in a mass learning initiative focused on artificial intelligence.
However, he faced significant resistance and even sabotage from his employees.
Every Monday was dedicated to artificial intelligence projects across all departments.
Vaughn believed building an artificial intelligence-centric culture was crucial.
He offered employees time, tools, education, and projects related to artificial intelligence.
The company also reimbursed for artificial intelligence tools and prompt engineering classes.
Vaughn believed that every company faces an existential threat from the artificial intelligence transformation.
He stated that changing employee mindsets was more challenging than teaching them new skills.
Technical staff were surprisingly the most resistant to adopting artificial intelligence.
They focused on the limitations of artificial intelligence rather than its potential.
A survey revealed that 1 in 3 workers actively sabotaged their company's artificial intelligence rollout.
This sabotage stemmed from frustration with inadequate tools and unclear strategies.
Vaughn emphasized the importance of belief in artificial intelligence adoption.
Ignite launched a massive recruiting effort for artificial intelligence innovation specialists.
The company underwent a significant reorganization, with all divisions reporting to the Artificial Intelligence Organization.
This centralization aimed to prevent duplicated efforts and maximize knowledge sharing.
2 cruise passengers drowned within hours of each other at Carnival Cruise Line's new private island in the Bahamas.
Both incidents occurred on the same Friday at Celebration Key and involved visitors in their 70s.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force identified the victims as a 79-year-old man and a 74-year-old woman.
These individuals were traveling on separate cruises, according to reports.
Witnesses stated that the man was snorkeling when he became unresponsive.
A lifeguard retrieved him from the water and administered cardiopulmonary resuscitation, but unfortunately, he could not be revived.
Similarly, the woman became unresponsive while swimming in a pool, and despite receiving treatment from a lifeguard, she also passed away.
Autopsies will be performed on both individuals to determine the exact causes of death.
A Carnival spokesperson confirmed to Fox News Digital that the incidents took place at Celebration Key.
The company stated that their lifeguards and medical team responded to 2 separate water emergency incidents, one at the beach and one in the lagoon.
One guest was traveling with family on the Mardi Gras, and the other guest was traveling with family on the Carnival Elation.
Carnival Cruise Lines expressed their condolences and stated their care team is providing assistance to the families.
Both of the deceased were American citizens.
Celebration Key opened in July after a substantial investment of more than $600 million by Carnival Cruise Lines.
The resort features a beach club, swimming pools, including large lagoons, and an infinity pool.
It also includes restaurants, bars, a dedicated island for a disc jockey, and various activities for both children and adults.
Markets reacted little to recent inflation data, but some economists are worried.
The Producer Price Index reached a three-year high in July, driven by services inflation.
A similar trend was seen in the Consumer Price Index, with services like dental care and airfare becoming more expensive.
This puts the Federal Reserve in a difficult position, balancing price stability and maximum employment.
Last week's jobs report showed the labor market might be weakening, suggesting the need for rate cuts.
However, the higher-than-expected inflation data suggests the opposite, potentially requiring more restraint.
Markets currently predict an 85% chance of a rate cut in September.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's speech next week could offer clues about future policy.
Some economists believe the Federal Reserve should not cut rates, or perhaps even raise them.
One economist, Lauren Seidel Baker, argues that these are broad inflationary pressures and sees reasons for raising rates.
She believes these pressures have been developing for years and are not just due to tariffs.
Seidel Baker points to higher wages and increasing energy costs as important factors.
She also emphasizes that the full effects of tariffs will take time to become apparent.
Seidel Baker considers inflation a more immediate risk than the labor market.
Chicago Federal Reserve President Austin Goolsbee expressed concern about a continued rise in services prices.
He noted that services are not tied to tariffs and hopes the recent increase is temporary.
Heavy rain has drenched parts of Texas, bringing much-needed relief to some drought-stricken areas.
However, these downpours also carry the risk of flash flooding and severe weather.
The National Weather Service has issued flood watches and warnings for several counties.
These alerts urge residents to stay informed and prepare for potential flooding.
Central Texas has experienced some of the most significant rainfall totals.
Some areas have seen several inches of rain accumulate in just a few hours.
This intense rainfall has led to road closures and disruptions in some communities.
Meteorologists predict that the heavy rain will continue to impact the Lone Star State.
The forecast suggests that additional rainfall is possible throughout the week.
This prolonged rainfall could exacerbate existing drought conditions in some areas.
Authorities are advising residents to avoid driving through flooded roadways.
It is important to remember that even shallow water can be dangerous.
People should also stay updated on the latest weather forecasts and alerts.
Being prepared is crucial during periods of severe weather.
Residents in flood-prone areas should take necessary precautions.
This includes having an emergency plan and a supply kit ready.
Italian fig lovers may find their favorite fruit more scarce this year due to challenging weather conditions in the Apulia region.
The summer fig harvest has been significantly impacted by unexpected frosts and heavy rains, leading to substantial losses for farmers.
Some farmers have reported losses of up to 70% for their spring fig production.
One farmer noted that while the season initially looked promising, a sudden frost damaged the developing figs, causing them to fall from the trees.
This reduction in yield is not isolated to a single farm, as other producers have reported similar experiences.
A sales manager in the region estimates a 50% drop in production due to rising global temperatures and premature fruit dropping.
Heavy rains and hails have also compromised the quality of the early figs, making exporting them difficult.
This fig crisis is a serious concern for farmers whose livelihoods depend on these crops.
These weather-related shortages highlight the impact of a warming planet and extreme weather on food production.
One farmer emphasized that climate change is the real problem, as fig trees struggle to adapt to the changing conditions.
He fears that if these trends continue, many farmers will be forced to switch to different crops.
Rising global temperatures are exacerbating extreme weather events like unseasonal frosts, heat waves, and heavy rainfall.
These conditions damage crops, reduce yields, impact farmers' incomes, and can lead to shortages and higher prices for consumers.
Our global food system is interconnected, so crop failure in one region can affect food availability worldwide.
Understanding these climate-related challenges is crucial for public health, the environment, and the stability of agricultural communities.
Farmers are hoping for improved conditions for the later fig harvest to mitigate some of the losses.
Former United States President Donald Trump stated that Chinese President Xi Jinping assured him China would not invade Taiwan during Trump's presidency.
Trump shared this information during an interview with Fox News prior to discussions with Russian President Vladimir Putin regarding the invasion of Ukraine.
Trump recounted President Xi saying he would never invade Taiwan while Trump was in office.
Trump expressed his appreciation for this assurance, but noted that President Xi also emphasized China's patience.
This conversation reportedly occurred during a phone call between Trump and Xi, potentially their first confirmed call during Trump's second presidential term in June.
China considers Taiwan its territory and has stated its intention to reunify with the island, even using force if necessary.
Taiwan firmly opposes China's claim of sovereignty.
The Chinese embassy in Washington reiterated Taiwan as a sensitive issue in United States-China relations.
The embassy urged the United States government to respect the One China principle and handle Taiwan-related matters carefully.
The United States is Taiwan's primary arms supplier and international supporter, but lacks formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan.
A senior Taiwanese lawmaker acknowledged the support from their major ally, but stressed the importance of self-reliance and defense.
This lawmaker emphasized that security cannot depend solely on promises from adversaries or assistance from allies.
Instead, they highlighted strengthening Taiwan's own defense capabilities as crucial.
This statement suggests Taiwan maintains a cautious approach, despite the reassurance from former President Trump.
The situation remains complex and requires ongoing attention from all parties involved.
The future of Taiwan and its relationship with China remains a significant geopolitical concern.
Drivers on a San Diego highway had to avoid a small plane that made an emergency landing on Saturday afternoon.
The incident occurred on Interstate 805 near Carroll Canyon Road in Sorrento Valley, around 5:30 post-meridiem.
The California Highway Patrol and Federal Aviation Administration are investigating the circumstances of the landing.
Preliminary reports suggest the plane landed due to mechanical problems.
The flight tracker indicates the private plane was en route from Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport to Miramar Marine Corps Air Station.
Fortunately, no injuries were reported in connection with this incident.
Images from a Caltrans traffic camera show the plane landed in the middle of the highway.
All southbound lanes of Interstate 805 at the Interstate 5 split were temporarily closed due to police activity.
Traffic was diverted to Interstate 5 southbound while authorities addressed the situation.
Caltrans reported all lanes fully reopened just after 9 post-meridiem Saturday.
This incident caused significant disruption to traffic flow in the area.
The prompt response from authorities helped to mitigate the impact of the unexpected landing.
The Federal Aviation Administration will likely conduct a thorough investigation into the mechanical issues.
Further details regarding the cause of the emergency landing are expected to be released soon.
This unusual event highlights the potential for unexpected incidents on roadways.
It is fortunate that this incident resulted in no injuries to drivers or the pilot.
A weakening economy, high interest rates, and trade wars are pushing buyers out of the housing market.
Real estate professionals are observing certain cities being impacted more significantly than others.
Tampa, Winter Haven, and Palm Beach, Florida, are showing signs of a slowdown with a high chance of price drops.
Overbuilding, insurance issues, and buyer burnout are contributing factors to this slowdown in Florida.
Cash sales and creative financing options are helping some sellers navigate this challenging market.
It is important for those in these areas to start planning for potential price adjustments.
Another area at risk is the Chicago West Loop.
There are indications of job market instability, which often precedes housing market corrections.
Current residents are extending leases at unusual rates, even in small studio apartments.
This behavior suggests people are being cautious with their finances and avoiding housing moves.
Construction and signage suppliers are offering significant discounts, indicating a decrease in development activity.
Reduced development activity often precedes market slowdowns.
The New York City metro area is also considered vulnerable at this time.
There are warning signs reminiscent of pre-2008 market conditions.
Debt-to-income ratios for tenants are higher than they have been in the past.
Landlords are reducing asking rents due to a lack of qualified applicants at previous price points.
Israeli police arrested dozens of people on Sunday during protests related to the war in Gaza.
Tens of thousands of protesters demanded a deal to free hostages held by Hamas.
This is one of the largest protests in Israel since the war began 22 months ago.
Families of hostages organized the demonstrations, expressing frustration over plans for a new Israeli offensive in Gaza.
Many Israelis fear the offensive will endanger the remaining hostages, of whom 20 are believed to be alive.
Protesters chanted that a war should not be won over the bodies of hostages.
Even some former Israeli military and intelligence officials are calling for a deal to end the fighting.
Protests took place at various locations, including politicians, homes, military headquarters, and major highways.
Protesters blocked roads and lit bonfires, and some businesses closed in solidarity.
Former hostage Arbel Yehud, whose boyfriend is still held by Hamas, called for a deal to release all hostages at once.
Some protesters displayed images of malnourished Palestinian children from Gaza, highlighting growing outrage over civilian conditions.
Over 250 malnutrition-related deaths have been reported in Gaza.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces pressure to resolve the hostage situation, but opposes any deal that leaves Hamas in power.
He warned that ending the war without defeating Hamas would embolden them and risk a repeat of the October 2023 attack.
Previous ceasefires that included hostage releases have threatened Netanyahu's coalition government.
Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich criticized the protests, saying they empower Hamas and endanger Israel.
A recent Reddit post by a Trump voter has garnered attention for its unexpected critique of the former president.
This voter, while supporting Trump, listed areas where they believe he needs to improve.
The voter initially explained their vote for Trump stemmed from a belief that a woman should not be president.
They stated Trump was the best available option, reiterating their stance against a woman in the presidency.
The voter expressed fatigue with Trump discussing Elon Musk and Dogecoin, urging him to deliver tangible results.
They also encouraged Trump to shift focus away from Joe Biden and his family.
The voter advised Trump to stop dwelling on past events and move forward.
They emphasized the need for Trump to unite the country and work for all Americans.
Many commenters who also voted for Trump echoed these sentiments, expressing similar concerns.
One commenter mentioned voting for Trump due to a lack of alternatives, criticizing the lack of impact of his policies on the middle class.
Another commenter agreed it was time to move past the Biden family and focus on other issues.
Someone else affirmed the original pollster's view on women holding the presidency.
Another commenter pointed out the irony of preferring a felon over a woman as president.
Finally, one commenter observed that the original poster is points aligned with liberal talking points.
These comments highlight a range of perspectives within Trump's voter base.
They offer insight into the complexities and evolving expectations surrounding his political role.
Former President Donald Trump welcomed Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska with a red carpet ceremony.
79-year-old Trump appeared to have difficulty walking straight on the carpet.
He veered from side to side as he made his way to the designated meeting point.
Trump then clapped as 72-year-old Putin approached him at Joint Base Elmendorf in Anchorage.
After shaking hands, Trump walked with Putin towards a platform.
A United States Air Force B-2 stealth bomber and F-35 fighter jets flew overhead, briefly catching Putin's attention.
The two leaders posed for photos on a platform with a sign reading, Alaska 2025.
Trump gestured for Putin to descend the stairs first, placing a hand on his back as they entered an escalade.
Both leaders appeared comfortable together, chatting as they walked.
Once inside the vehicle, Putin smiled and waved to the press.
The summit was considered a potential step towards ending the war in Ukraine.
However, no ceasefire agreement was reached, and no details of the discussions were released.
Trump was criticized by some for hosting Putin on a United States military base.
Their previous meeting in Helsinki, Finland, in 2018, was widely considered a failure for Trump.
The meeting took place amid increased tensions between the United States and Russia.
Observers noted the symbolism of the meeting location and the military flyover.
Goldman Sachs suggests that the recent period of stable market conditions, often referred to as a Goldilocks market, might be nearing its end.
This summer has seen ideal market conditions with stable economic growth, moderate inflation, and a strong earnings season.
Big tech companies, spending on artificial intelligence and anticipation of an interest rate cut, have further fueled this rally.
A key factor contributing to market stability has been a volatility reset, with investors accepting lower returns on riskier assets.
Goldman Sachs notes that during Goldilocks periods, low market and economic volatility usually lead to more stable returns.
However, this calm could be disrupted if economic growth slows or the Federal Reserve tightens monetary policy.
Goldman Sachs analyst Christian Mueller-Glissman warns of the potential for market unwinds in the event of negative growth or interest rate shocks.
Despite current market stability, Goldman Sachs's equity asymmetry framework suggests a low probability of a major market rally in the current climate.
Large rallies typically occur during market recoveries after significant downturns.
The risk of a sharp market decline, also known as a drawdown, is currently elevated and has been increasing recently.
Such drawdowns are often triggered by factors like high stock valuations and a weakening business cycle.
With the Standard & Poor's 500 index reaching record highs, there is limited room for error in a market priced for perfection.
Goldman Sachs observes that the recent rally in the United States stock market has been largely driven by a few large-cap technology stocks.
While this has boosted the overall market, it indicates a lack of broader market participation.
This concentrated rally could become problematic if these technology companies experience setbacks or if the broader market loses momentum.
Goldman Sachs also highlights potential macroeconomic challenges in the second half of the year, such as the impact of tariffs on global growth and uncertainty surrounding Federal Reserve policy.
The Florida Republican Party removed deportation-themed merchandise from its website after objections from Home Depot.
The merchandise, including shirts and hats, mimicked Home Depot's logo and was called the Deport Depot.
This branding referenced Governor Ron DeSantis' new immigrant detention center, which he nicknamed Deportation Depot.
The merchandise featured an orange box and stenciled font similar to Home Depot's logo.
Home Depot spokesperson Beth Marlowe stated the company had not granted permission for the use of their branding.
The items were priced between $15 and $28, with sales considered political contributions to the Republican Party of Florida.
The merchandise and related social media posts were removed after the story was published.
Party chairperson Evan Power did not provide comment after the removal.
Before Home Depot's objection, Power claimed the merchandise had legal clearance.
He believed the design was legally protected, arguing no reasonable person would confuse it with Home Depot.
Power stated the logo was intended to highlight a recognizable symbol to make a point.
This merchandise was the latest attempt to fundraise from Florida's immigration policies.
Previous fundraising efforts included merchandise related to the Alligator Alcatraz Detention Center.
Home Depot might be particularly sensitive to this issue due to its association with immigration enforcement activities.
Home Depot stores have become targets for immigration and customs enforcement agents looking for day laborers.
Raids have been especially common in California, sometimes leading to protests and tragic incidents.
Home Depot has faced criticism for its perceived lack of involvement in this issue.
Marlowe stated they are not notified or involved in immigration and customs enforcement activities.
This week, 2 food recalls were issued due to potential contamination.
Instant coffee and imported camembert cheese were affected.
Dollar General recalled its Clover Valley instant coffee due to potential glass contamination.
A customer reported finding glass pieces in the coffee granules.
The instant coffee was sold in 48 states between July 9th and July 21st.
Check the Best By date and lot codes on the back of the bottle to identify the recalled product.
The lot codes are L5163, L5164, and L5165.
The Best By dates are December 13, 2026 and December 14, 2026.
Wegmans recalled its medium camembert soft ripened cheese due to potential listeria contamination.
Other ready-to-eat products containing this cheese were also recalled.
Listeria can cause gastrointestinal issues and serious infections, particularly in vulnerable populations.
The cheese was sold at Wegmans stores between July 1 and August 12, 2025.
The affected stores are located in 9 states and Washington District of Columbia.
The Best By dates for the recalled camembert are July 26, August 12, and August 19, 2025.
Wegmans also recalled products containing the affected camembert, including an assorted cheese flight.
Other recalled products include grilling camembert and caramel apple pecan topped brie cheese.
Former President Donald Trump stated he did not have immediate plans to impose retaliatory tariffs on nations like China for purchasing Russian oil.
However, he indicated he might need to consider such actions in a few weeks.
Trump had previously threatened sanctions on Moscow and secondary sanctions on countries that purchase Russian oil if the war in Ukraine did not end.
China and India are the largest purchasers of Russian oil.
Last week, President Trump implemented an additional 25% tariff on Indian goods, citing its continuous imports of Russian oil.
He has not yet taken comparable measures against China.
Trump was questioned by Fox News host Sean Hannity about potential actions against Beijing after his summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska.
The summit did not yield an agreement to resolve or halt the conflict in Ukraine.
Following the summit, Trump suggested that he did not need to consider such action at that moment.
He acknowledged he might have to revisit the issue in 2 or 3 weeks.
President Xi Jinping of China could face economic consequences if Trump intensifies Russia-related sanctions and tariffs.
Xi and Trump were engaged in trade negotiations, aiming to reduce tensions and import taxes between the two largest global economies.
Outside of Russia, China could be the primary target if Trump escalates punitive measures.
This situation adds another layer of complexity to the already strained relationship between the United States and China.
The potential impact of these tariffs on global trade and economic stability remains to be seen.
The international community will be closely watching the developments in the coming weeks.
Dr. Colleen Crowley and her family moved from California to Spain 3 years ago.
They now live in San Sebastian with their 3 children and Crowley's mother.
The family hikes the Camino de Santiago as part of their daily life.
Crowley describes the move as amazing and transformative, especially for her children.
Her children, aged 16, 13, and 8 at the time of the move, wish they had moved sooner.
Crowley and her husband always planned to live abroad and expose their children to different cultures.
They previously lived in Montecito, California, which Crowley found too sheltered.
The shift to remote work during the COVID-19 pandemic facilitated their move.
Crowley was drawn to Spain partly due to the works of Ernest Hemingway and her Spanish heritage.
They chose Spain over Chile because it better suited their love for outdoor activities.
The family obtained visas and moved to Mallorca in July 2022.
After 6 months, they moved to San Sebastian, finding it a better fit.
Integrating into the Basque culture has presented some challenges due to its insular nature.
However, they have found valuable relationships within the community.
They enjoy hiking, surfing, and exploring the Pyrenees Mountains.
They have adapted to a slower pace of life and the Spanish siesta culture.
The cost of living is lower than in Montecito, and they appreciate Spain's public healthcare system.
Crowley has created resources to help others navigate moving abroad.
Her children have embraced the move and expanded their worldview.
They have no desire to return to the United States.
A British Columbia nurse and her colleague encountered a rare leatherback sea turtle while fishing near Langara Island.
This encounter, documented on July 14, 2025, involved Victoria Bradshaw and Aidan Horn, who initially mistook the creature for a whale.
Upon closer inspection, using a phone to zoom in, they realized it was a leatherback sea turtle, the largest of all sea turtle species.
They cut the boat engine to avoid disturbing the turtle and filmed it from a safe distance.
Bradshaw described the turtle as being beyond a size she could comprehend.
Adult leatherback turtles typically measure between 5 and 6 feet and weigh between 750 and 1,000 pounds.
According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries, these turtles are usually found in warmer waters.
However, they can be found in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, feeding mainly on jellyfish and salps.
Sightings in British Columbia waters are rare, with only 149 unique sightings since 1931.
This sighting is the first verified sighting of a leatherback turtle in British Columbia in 2025.
The footage shows a relaxed turtle dipping its head into the water and surfacing occasionally.
The turtle appeared healthy, uninjured, and calm, enjoying the water and the abundant jellyfish.
Bradshaw expressed surprise at seeing the turtle at the surface, as they do not typically spend much time there.
Sightings of critically endangered species are becoming increasingly rare due to declining populations.
Documenting such encounters is crucial for conservation efforts.
If you encounter a critically endangered species, document it from a distance and report it to local conservation groups or authorities.
Rose Hammond advocated for years to lower the 55 miles per hour speed limit on a road near her assisted living community.
This road passes a church, 2 schools, and a busy park with many youth sports leagues.
Sylvania Township finally requested a speed limit analysis from county engineers.
Surprisingly, the engineers determined the speed limit should be 60 miles per hour, based on the 85% rule.
This rule, derived from research in the 1930s and 40s, connects speed limits to the speed of the 15th fastest vehicle out of 100.
However, some states and the federal government are now reconsidering this rule.
The 85% rule assumes the safest speed is the one most vehicles travel.
Critics argue this creates a feedback loop where speeding leads to higher speed limits.
The National Association of City Transportation Officials proposes an alternative called city limits, which prioritizes minimizing injury risk.
This formula considers street activity and the likelihood of collisions.
The Federal Highway Administration recently advised states that the 85% rule should not be the sole factor in setting speed limits.
They suggest considering road usage, pedestrian risk, and crash frequency.
Madison, Wisconsin, recently lowered speed limits on residential streets to 20 miles per hour as part of their 20 is Plenty campaign.
Seattle saw a decrease in serious injury crashes and average speeds after implementing a similar program.
California, while heavily reliant on the 85% rule, has allowed exceptions based on proven safety needs.
Advocates argue this is insufficient and prioritizes automobiles over other road users.
COVID-19 cases are currently widespread and expected to increase throughout the summer.
Experts predict this summer surge will peak in early September, coinciding with the return to school.
Infectious disease modeler Jay Weiland shared this prediction on social media.
Professor Jen Dowd highlighted Weiland's model and CDC data showing rising infections in most states.
Dowd noted in her newsletter that the data lags by a week, so current levels are likely higher than reported.
Experts caution that this prediction is not absolute, as COVID has been unpredictable.
Dowd emphasized that the September peak is a best guess based on current trends.
She added that back-to-school season could exacerbate viral spread.
Current COVID levels are lower than last summer, based on wastewater and hospitalization data.
Infectious disease epidemiologist Jessica Malati Rivera explained that prediction models are imperfect but valuable.
Historically, summer and back-to-school periods have seen increased viral activity.
Wastewater data indicates current COVID prevalence and potential for further spread.
However, wastewater data cannot distinguish between active and non-infectious viral fragments.
Malati Rivera clarified that the presence of COVID-19 in wastewater does not necessarily indicate active infection.
She emphasized that a surge is expected as children return to school and people return from vacations.
Respiratory illnesses typically increase during the fall, and COVID is now part of this seasonal pattern.
The White House responded to a report about United States government papers left on a public printer by calling it hilarious.
These papers pertain to the summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska.
The White House Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly gave a statement to News Nation.
She dismissed the incident, referring to the papers as a multi-page lunch menu.
She also criticized the reporting, labeling it as self-proclaimed investigative journalism.
The papers were found on a hotel printer before the meeting at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson.
The 8 pages contain details like meeting locations and phone numbers of government workers.
The first page outlined the meeting sequence, including a planned gift exchange.
Pages 2 through 5 listed the names of top United States and Russian officials present.
Page 2 specifically included phone numbers of 3 United States advanced staff members.
Pages 6 and 7 detailed the lunch seating chart and the planned menu.
Although the lunch did not happen, the menu included a 3-course meal.
The planned meal included a salad, filet mignon, and/or halibut Olympia.
The documents appear to have been produced by the Office of the Chief of Protocol.
This office is part of the State Department and facilitates United States diplomacy.
Its mission is to create an environment for successful diplomacy with foreign leaders.
A major national mortgage lender is offering a limited-time mortgage rate sale to stimulate the housing market.
This sale, offered by Chase Home Lending, ends on Monday, August 18, 2025.
The sale applies to purchase applications nationwide and offers personalized, lockable interest rate discounts.
These discounts can be combined with other offers from Chase.
According to Eric Schmidt, a Chase executive, the discount can be as much as 1/4 of a point.
This means a 6.5% rate could be reduced to 6.25%.
On a 30-year, $350,000 loan, this could save a borrower over $2,600 in interest.
It would also reduce the monthly payment by more than $55.
The discount applies for the life of the loan on fixed-rate mortgages.
For adjustable-rate mortgages, the discount applies during the initial fixed-rate period.
There are no extra fees or discount points associated with this offer.
The program is available on all Chase home purchase mortgages, including Federal Housing Administration loans.
This discount can be combined with other Chase programs, like their relationship pricing and the Chase Dreammaker loan.
Chase also offers grants from $500 to $5,000 to borrowers in specific areas.
To get the discount, you must qualify for a Chase mortgage and lock in your interest rate before Monday.
The Chase Lock and Shop program protects you from interest rate increases for 90 days.
MSNBC host Antonia Hilston discussed President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin meeting.
She spoke with former United States Ambassador to Russia Michael McFaul on MSNBC's The Weekend Primetime.
Hilton mentioned press corps reports of administration members like Caroline Leavitt looking ashen after the meeting.
McFaul expressed relief at not attending the Alaska summit, having experienced similar situations in Helsinki and Geneva.
He found it telling that the administration was not actively promoting a positive narrative of the meeting.
McFaul contrasted this with his own White House experience, where officials would brief journalists on meeting outcomes.
He believed this lack of spin indicated the meeting was a significant setback.
The Alaska summit was widely considered unsuccessful due to the absence of a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine.
Despite the elaborate setup and extended talks, President Trump admitted they did not reach an agreement.
He maintained optimism about future possibilities, but acknowledged the lack of a concrete deal.
Trump planned to contact North Atlantic Treaty Organization, relevant individuals, and President Zelensky regarding the meeting.
Before the summit, Caroline Leavitt defended President Trump against critics.
She dismissed those criticizing the president as so-called experts with unimpressive resumes.
Leavitt expressed confidence in President Trump's abilities and approach.
For most people, insurance is essential for protecting assets like homes, cars, and health.
However, billionaire Charlie Munger, Berkshire Hathaway vice chairman, revealed a different approach to insurance.
Munger stated that once he attained significant wealth, he ceased insuring things he could afford to replace.
During the 2023 Daily Journal shareholder meeting, he explained he rarely carried collision insurance on cars and stopped carrying fire insurance on houses after becoming rich.
He justified this by saying he could easily rebuild a house if it burned down.
This remark was in response to a question about large companies self-insuring against major liabilities.
Munger stated that he and his business partner, Warren Buffett, are both big self-insurers.
He questioned why he should deal with insurance claims when an unusual expense would not significantly impact him financially.
Munger offered a philosophical perspective on insurance, stating one should insure against unaffordable losses.
He argued that if one can afford the financial impact of unforeseen events, there is no need for insurance.
Munger concluded that all intelligent people, or perhaps all intelligent people should, handle insurance this way.
This approach to insurance reflects his belief in self-reliance and financial prudence.
This strategy is generally not recommended for those without substantial financial resources.
Traditional insurance provides a safety net for unexpected events that could cause significant financial hardship.
Munger's approach highlights the difference in financial strategies between the ultra-wealthy and the average person.
It also raises questions about the role and necessity of traditional insurance in a world of increasing wealth disparity.
Miles Burt Marshall operated in upstate New York, managing investments for people who preferred local options.
From his Hamilton office near Colgate University, Marshall offered tax preparation, insurance, and an investment opportunity called the 8% Fund.
This fund promised a consistent 8% annual return, regardless of market fluctuations.
Marshall assured clients he invested in local rental properties, offering faster growth than traditional banks.
He cultivated a friendly image, distributing gift bags filled with local products like maple syrup and pickles.
These gifts reinforced his local, trustworthy persona.
He built trust by mentioning other investors, including churches, fire companies, and doctors.
This created a sense of community and legitimacy around his investments.
However, Marshall's scheme collapsed, revealing almost 1,000 people and organizations were owed about $95 million.
He filed for bankruptcy protection 2 years ago, and this summer, the 73-year-old was indicted on charges of running a Ponzi scheme.
While the losses are less than Bernie Madoff's multi-billion-dollar scheme, they significantly impact the small town of Hamilton and its surrounding area.
Many of the investors, including Colgate professors, laborers, and retirees, lost significant savings.
One couple, Christine and Dennis Corrigan, lost about $1.5 million.
They, along with other investors, are grappling with the betrayal of trust by someone they considered reliable.
Marshall held annual client parties and even called clients on their birthdays, further solidifying their trust.
Dennis Sullivan, who lost about $40,000, expressed sadness over the impact on the community.
Microplastics are entering our bodies in significant amounts through food and drink.
In 2024, scientists in China discovered a simple method for removing these microplastics from water.
The team conducted tests using both soft and hard tap water, the latter being richer in minerals.
They introduced nanoplastics and microplastics into the water, boiled it, and then filtered out any resulting precipitates.
Additional microplastics were added to assess the effectiveness of this boiling and filtering process.
The researchers emphasized the growing global concern of nanoplastics and microplastics escaping water treatment systems and posing health risks through consumption.
The boiling and filtering method removed up to 90% of these particles, although the effectiveness depended on the water type.
A key advantage of this method is its accessibility, as most people have the necessary tools in their kitchens.
The researchers highlighted the potential of this simple boiling water strategy to decontaminate tap water and reduce microplastic intake.
Hard tap water proved more effective in removing microplastics due to limescale buildup during heating.
This chalky substance, commonly seen in kettles, traps plastic fragments within its crust.
The study found that nanoplastic precipitation efficiency increased with water hardness.
Even in soft water with less calcium carbonate, roughly a quarter of the nanoplastics and microplastics were removed.
A simple filter, such as a tea strainer, can then remove the lime-encrusted plastic.
Past research has identified various plastic types, including polystyrene and polyethylene, in our drinking water.
To further test the method, the researchers added more nanoplastic particles and still observed a significant reduction.
A 2-year-old boy has died after a car accident involving multiple pedestrians in a Kent parking lot.
The incident occurred at the intersection of Harbour Street and Cromwell Road in Whitstable on Saturday evening.
Police were called to the scene around 8:24 p.m. British Summer Time.
The young boy was pronounced dead at the scene, and a man was transported to the hospital with serious injuries.
The boy's next of kin have been notified of the tragedy.
A man in his 20s was arrested at the scene under suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving.
He remains in custody as the investigation continues.
People have left floral tributes and stuffed animals at the scene of the accident.
A spokesperson for Canterbury City Council expressed their condolences and stated that officers are available to provide support.
Kent police are requesting anyone with information, CCTV footage, or dashcam recordings to contact them.
Whitstable is a seaside town popular with tourists and is particularly busy during the summer season.
The accident occurred during this peak time for the area.
This incident is a tragedy for the community and those involved.
The ongoing investigation will hopefully shed light on the circumstances surrounding the accident.
It is important for drivers to exercise caution, especially in areas with pedestrian traffic.
Our thoughts are with the family and friends of the victims during this difficult time.
Antonia Hilston discussed President Donald Trump's AIDS reactions to the meeting with Vladimir Putin.
Hilton suggested that aides, especially Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, appeared frightened.
This discussion took place on Saturday night during MSNBC's The Weekend Primetime.
Hilton spoke with former United States Ambassador to Russia Michael McFaul.
McFaul served as ambassador under President Obama.
Their conversation focused on Trump's summit with Putin in Anchorage on Friday.
Hilton mentioned reports from the press corps present at the meeting.
Reporters observed members of the administration like Caroline Leavitt.
They described Levitt as looking ashen and frightened after the closed-door meeting.
Helton asked McFall what he thought this reaction indicated.
This observation sparked curiosity about what transpired during the private discussion.
The press corps noticed this reaction immediately following the press conference.
Hilton inquired about McFall's interpretation of these observations.
The concern was specifically about what happened behind closed doors.
The reactions of the aides seemed to suggest something unsettling occurred.
Hilton sought McFall's expert opinion on the matter.
A Ukrainian sniper reportedly killed 2 Russian soldiers with 1 bullet from a distance of 4,000 meters, potentially a new world record.
This sniper, from Ukraine's elite Privid unit, used a 14.5mm caliber Snipex alligator rifle.
Footage appears to show 2 Russians collapsing inside an occupied building between Mirnograd and Pokrovsk in eastern Donetsk.
Ukrainian journalist Yuri Butusov published the video and claimed it is a new world record for longest range.
Mr. Butusov also stated that almost 1,000 Russian servicemen have been killed by the Privid unit in Donetsk.
He reported that the shot occurred on August 14th with the support of unmanned drone and artificial intelligence systems.
The Snipex alligator rifle is typically used to destroy military hardware, not personnel.
This event coincides with intensified Russian attacks around Pokrovsk, a key battle in the war.
If confirmed, this shot will surpass the previous record set by Ukrainian Vyacheslav Kovalsky in November 2023.
Mr. Kovalsky killed a Russian soldier from 3,800 meters using a Lord of the Horizon rifle.
Prior to that, the record was held by a Canadian sniper who shot an Islamic State fighter from 3,540 meters in 2017.
Before that, British sniper Craig Harrison held the record with a 24-78-meter shot in Afghanistan in 2009.
The Snipex alligator rifle used in the latest incident has an official range of only 2,000 meters.
Since the start of the war, Ukraine has become a testing ground for military innovations.
Ukrainian sniper teams now use drones and artificial intelligence software, often pushing technology beyond its limits.
This is partly due to ammunition and equipment shortages faced by Ukrainian forces.
Delta Airlines received a significant setback this week due to a United States Department of Justice decision impacting a key partnership with Grupo Aeromexico.
This long-standing alliance has allowed Delta and Aeromexico to coordinate flight planning and pricing for many years.
However, this partnership is now threatened by a recent move from the United States Department of Justice.
The Department of Justice determined that the 2 airlines should lose their antitrust immunity.
The Department of Justice claims the Mexican government has engaged in restrictive practices that stifle competition.
This follows a warning from the United States Department of Transportation, urging Mexico to address anti-competitive conduct.
The Department of Justice argued that actions by Mexico have limited market access between Mexico and the United States.
The Department of Transportation believes Mexico has been violating a 2015 agreement by restricting United States airlines.
Delta and Aeromexico issued a joint statement saying the decision would punish a United States company and United States consumers.
They argued that other measures could remedy the situation without harming the United States economy.
Delta claimed the alliance fosters enhanced competition with other United States and Mexican carriers.
This decision marks a turning point for a partnership that began in 2011.
Delta warned customers about the potential impact on travel between the United States and Mexico.
Delta stated that terminating the partnership would harm consumers, United States jobs, and transborder competition.
The United States claims the alliance no longer serves the public interest, but Delta disagrees.
This disagreement highlights the complex relationship between airline alliances and government regulations.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.
Thanks for staying informed. See you in the next episode.